Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
Crazy people don't know they are crazy. And if something in your life feels crazy, it is crazy and it needs fixed. And I love that quote. This is Laura Lee with your 5-Minute Spirit Reboot. And joining me today is female boss, self-love coach, and also author of Narc-tion-ary, the Narcissist Abuse Recovery Dictionary. Welcome, Dr. Tracy Kimball.
Thank you so much for being here at this 5 minutes.
What is narcissism, and are you born with it?
That's a really good question. We all have narcissism, first off, because what we're talking about is a spectrum disorder. It's really thrown around a lot in our culture right now, but there's a difference between having a bad day and acting like a narcissist versus somebody who has high narcissistic characteristics, that has NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, then sociopath, psychopath. It's a spectrum disorder. We all want healthy narcissism, but when it goes on up the spectrum, that's when lives start to get destroyed by it.
What is that peak where you see that change?
Narcissism isn't like pregnancy, where you either are or you're not pregnant. Narcissistic characteristics are really difficult people. They just exhaust you. Narcissistic personality disorder are very problematic people, and people with antisocial personality disorder are dangerous people that you just need to stay away from.
Right. Tell us about your narc-tion-ary.
You know, when you go through something like narcissism, you feel like you're alone. And because of the crazy making behavior, it doesn't have a punch or a slap. It often just rambles your brain and your heart and your soul and beats you up from the inside out, that it's like fighting with ghosts. And so what the narc-tion-ary does is it gives names to the ghosts that are in narcissism, narcissistic abuse, narcissistic trauma, and narcissistic recovery, so that you can grab a hold of this ghost, bring it into your life, fix it, mend it, heal it, or if it doesn't best serve you, get it out of your life for good.
Give us some of the words that are key in there.
Well, some of the words are like word salad. What's a word salad? A word salad is when a narcissist uses so many words to jumble up a question or an answer to a question that you have no idea what they're actually talking about. So you leave the conversation feeling just as confused as when you began. A lot of the things in narcissism have quirky words. There's Mr. and Mrs. Breathy. And Mr. or Mrs. Breathy is when, in healthy dialogue, if we see something's wrong with our partner, we say, what's wrong? And a healthy person will say A, B, and C. Well, because narcissism is a lot of passive aggressive behavior, you'll say, what's wrong? And they'll say, nothing. And you'll say, but I know something's wrong. No. And so then you have to pine after them to get the answers, and it becomes all convoluted. But my favorite word in the book is something that's called poop in your soup. And this was really important for me to learn because I am a master at accepting unacceptable behavior. And one day when I was tolerating certain levels of inappropriate behavior, it was told to me, tolerating little bouts of narcissistic behavior is no different than having poop in your soup. And no matter how small the drop of poop in your soup is never okay. And so I learned to view narcissistic behavior as having poop in my soup, and it's just not okay.
No, it's not. Next question then. What do you think is the biggest, most common red flag?
There's so many, but I would say probably the love bombing. They come in hot and they come in fast, and they come in with, future faking, and they come in with putting you up on this pedestal. And the goal is to condition you to fall in love with them, because getting involved in a narcissist is no different than being onboarded into a cult. It's that same lure of the love and accept them and all that. And that's what draws you in. And then on a dime, anywhere from a matter of months to 2 years, that fake face falls off and you are dealing with a completely different person. If anybody comes in too hot and too fast, take heed to that. If a person really loves you, you can put the brakes on things to get to know each other. Mm-hmm. And you should never be afraid whether or not you're going to lose a person if they authentically love you.
I love that. Where can people find Narc-tion-ary?
Amazon.com and at drtracy.tv.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. If you like this segment and you want more, please subscribe. And remember, this is an episode of RadioMediumLauralee.com. And you can also find that subscription on your favorite podcast form.